Welcome to another session of Relationship Q&A. Thank you so much for coming. If this is your first time of coming to one of the sessions, you are so much welcome. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you. Please feel free to follow me on Instagram, on Facebook at Everyday Matters One. I'll be more than happy to have you as part of my family. And if you're a returning subscriber, a returning follower, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. You are the reason why I do this every week. And again, I'll always say we do this every week, every Sunday at 5 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. Nigerian time, and 6 p.m. Europe time. Okay, just so we can kind of empower someone, to impact and educate someone, so you can be your better self, and also to empower you with tools so you can be the best version of yourself, so you can build better relationship with your friends, your family, with your spouse, and all. But thank you all so much for coming. I really do appreciate you. For those of us that are already in the stream, early years matters. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You're here with me every week. Thank you so much. Looks like we are glued together, actually. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming. I really do. Thank you so much. Okay, so how are you? Before we go on, let's do a bit of a housekeeping. Is that what they call it? Well, thank you so much. How are you? How's your week been? How's your day been? I hope your weekend has been amazing. But thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. So for me, I've had a good week, and this weekend seems to have just flown like that. It was like yesterday when I said, "Oh, thank God it's Friday." Now it's Sunday again. Tomorrow is Monday, so it's but well, there you go. We just need to keep going. But thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'll just check to make sure my YouTube is on, my Facebook is on as well. Thank you so much. So how are you? Early years matters. How's your week been? How has your week been? Or how was your week? How was your weekend? Okay. Thank you so much. I can hear myself somewhere. Thank you so much. So today we have a very Bonnie, I don't want to call you mental health awareness. I know that's Bonnie. Thank you so much for coming, Bonnie. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Guys, please thumbs up the stream as you come in, and don't forget your engagement will be highly appreciated as well. Okay, as always, our live streams on Sundays are always engaging, so that's what we want. I don't want a situation where it will just be me talking. If that's the case, then fine. And but I would also love for us to be engaging as well. But thank you all so much. Shadow Princess, thank you so much. I really appreciate you for coming. Thank you so much. Okay, so like I said, today we have a very interesting topic. And last week we had a guest, and it was very interesting. We're supposed to do a part 2 today, but for some reasons, Mary couldn't make it, so we just have to do it by ourselves. But it's fine. So this is like a follow-up from what we did last week. So last week we did some of the things you need to know before you say I do. That was what we did last week. And today we're doing like one of the things that we said last week was trust. So you need to have trust in yourself and also in the person you're getting married to. That's one of the things that we talked about last week. So I thought, you know what, why not just follow that up today? Healthy Living with Deborah, Talk with Richie, thank you so much for coming. So that's what we're doing today. Basically, we're just following up from last week. And we know that trust is one of the pillars. Happy Sunday to you too. Healthy Living with Deborah, thank you so much. Happy Sunday to you too. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, so we know that trust is one of the pillars of every relationship, not just marriage, even relationship with our parents, relationship with our siblings, relationship with our friends. We know that trust is so important, because if you don't trust someone, there are so many things that you can't do with that person, or you can't do for that person. Okay, so trust is one of the pillars of every relationship. Trust is one of the pillars of every marriage. Host looking beautiful. Thank you so much, Ade Princess. I do appreciate that feedback. Thank you so much. I had my hair done over the week, this week that just went. Thank you so much for that. for actually complimenting me. Thank you. Okay, and shout out to all my members of the house. Healthy Living with Deborah, Elias Matters. Thank you so much. I see you there. Thank you so, so much. Okay, so the question, what we're talking about now, so is, should I marry someone I don't trust? So I'm in a position now where I want to get married, and I'm seeing this person, I'm dating this person, and I don't trust this person. Do you think I should go ahead to marry that person? That's the question, and I would like your feedbacks as well. So do you think, if I don't trust, so let's use myself as the example now. I have this guy I've been dating, or I've been courting. We're told today at in church that we shouldn't be dating, we should be courting if we want to get married. Okay, so I have this person that I'm courting, and I don't trust him. Would you advise me to go ahead and get married to that person? Wait, every day, do you have purple in your hair? Yes. Like this whole pot is purple. Comes there. Thank you for coming. This part of my hair is purple, and I've got purple everywhere. Purple is one of my favorite colors when it comes to hair. Yeah, Wendy Babs, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so, so much. So, like I was saying, I've got this person now. Blue Jeans Network, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that super chat so, so much. I haven't even started, but thank you so much. Happy Sunday to you, everyone. That's like a slap on my face, like, I'm fine. I'm doing great. How are you? Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for that amazing super chat as well. I do appreciate it. Okay. So the question, like we were saying, is I'm quoting this guy, and I don't, for some reasons, I don't trust this guy. I don't think that, I don't trust him. Do you think I should get married to him? I don't trust him because I think he's cheating. I think he's probably got someone else that he's seeing behind me. Okay, can I trust him? Can I go ahead? I was looking at the purple hair, but I thought it was like, no. Purple is one of my favorite colors. So yes, it's purple, you see, Richie. Okay, so do you think I should go ahead and marry this guy? Cooling with Ali and Molly. I've seen that name before. Thank you, Chilling. Thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so would you advise me to go ahead and marry that person, even though I don't trust the person, or would you tell me, you know what, if you don't trust this guy, then don't go ahead with him? Okay, I'll just give it a few seconds. Okay, so talk with Richie. I talk. I'll just leave you guys to be. Right. So, like I was saying before, trust is one of the pillars of every marriage. So trust is so, so important when it comes to relationship. Yeah, marry someone you don't trust. It's like asking if you want to cross the road when a car is close by. Okay, so that's Cobden's contribution. Cobden is saying no, that it doesn't make sense if you decide to go ahead to marry someone you don't trust, because it's like you've seen a car coming and you're deciding to cross the road. What's going to happen there? There's going to definitely be an accident. Okay, so you don't want to do that. Okay, and we know that trust is one of the pillars of every relationship. And I said before, pillar of relationship, whether a relationship with your spouse, with your friends, trust is so, so important. If I don't trust you as my friend to be with my husband, then I can't have a relationship with you. If I don't trust you as someone that will be faithful to me in marriage, then I don't want to be with you. Okay, so we need to make sure that we have a trust for the person that we're getting married to. Colin, thank you so much for coming. Don't see how a marriage can work without trust. Okay, and that's also true. Without trust, it is difficult. Rich is saying it's a capital no, but some marry even though they don't trust the person. They marry out of the desperation at the point nothing matters to them. They must want to they just want to marry. Okay, and that happens a lot. People marry because they are desperate. People marry because, oh, maybe he will change, or maybe something would happen. Maybe God will do a miracle at some point. But if you do that, the person is not going to change. And we always say, except God does a miracle. We know that miracle happens, but why wait for God to do a miracle when you can um, avoid getting yourself into that situation in the first place? Okay, so why would you want to do that? Okay, so you get married to someone expecting the person to change, then you put yourself, like Cobden said, it's an accident waiting to happen. Okay, so we know that. For me, what I think is, if you are dating someone and you don't trust the person, then what you want to do is ask yourself, like, okay, why don't I? Fitness Study, thank you for coming. Thank you for the amazing share as well. Thank you so much. What you want to do is ask yourself, like, why do I not trust this person? Okay, what is it that this person is doing that I don't trust? Have I actually seen this person doing something? Say, for instance, it's someone that's cheating. Have I actually, or you don't trust the person because you think the person is cheating on you? Okay, you want to ask yourself, has this person actually done anything or said anything that would warrant me not trusting this person? Or is it just me overthinking it? And we know that when it comes to trust, sometimes it's us. So I just don't trust this person because I have issues that I'm supposed to have dealt with in my past that I haven't dealt with. So you want to ask yourself questions like, okay, why don't I trust this person? Is this person actually doing someone? Is this person actually doing something? Has this person done something that warrants me not trusting them? Or is it just my imagination? Is it that I've got insecurity in myself? Is it that I don't even trust myself? Because like we were saying last week, some people don't even trust their shadows. So they won't trust anyone. Okay, so I had this religion said trust has nothing to do with a relationship when it comes with bad behavior. A leopard cannot change a spots or colors. Okay, and that's so true. When it comes to bad behaviors, you can't change. And we said just now that it only takes a miracle. And I said, why wait for a miracle when you can avoid the heartache? So people don't just wake up tomorrow and say, okay, I'm changing. It doesn't happen. Or I will now have to go and start praying for you to change. I can remove that as one of my prayer points. Okay, it's not necessary. I can spare myself that stress or that headache. Designers Original, thank you so much for coming. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, if you have trust issues, then seek help. Otherwise, it will bubble up to the surface. And that's the truth. Okay, and that's why I said you need to ask yourself, is it me that is the problem? Do I have trust issues? Do I have insecurities? Is it that I don't have confidence in me? Because there's some people that don't have confidence in themselves. They're insecure. They feel like, okay, this person is not good enough, or I'm not good enough for this person. If this person decides to be with me, they must be cheating. Okay, there are some people like that. Nesta Merchant. Nesta Merchant. Youth Service. Hi. I'm trying to think who this Nesta is. Well, thank you so much for coming. If you're my personal person, please message me later so I'll know you're the one. Well, thank you so much for coming. Yeah. So some people have insecurity. They feel like if this person decides, maybe they're going out or they are dating someone that's so pretty, they feel like, oh, this person can't be with someone like me. If they are with me, that means they are cheating on me. They just don't trust themselves. They've got insecurity. We call it inferiority complex, I think. They've got insecurity, they've got trust issues. Okay, so there's some people like that. So what you want to do is ask yourself, oh, don't about Nesta, my representative. It's okay, so it's you. Thank you so much, Anne, for coming. Thank you so much. So you want to ask yourself, is it me or is this person actually cheating, or is this person actually not good enough for me? So that's the first thing that you want to do. So if you find out that, okay, it's you, like Building said, that you need to work on yourself. You need to work on yourself to make sure that you deal with those insecurity or those trust issues. Otherwise, it will blow up, like Eugene said. It will blow up in your face. Even if you leave that person and go into another relationship, the same issue will still come up. Okay, so you want to first of all deal with your insecurities. First of all, you might need to go to counseling. You need to ask yourself, okay, why am I feeling this way? If it's due to a past experience, maybe someone, you've been in a relationship with someone before that you trusted and they betrayed you, then you want to deal with it. Okay, so maybe you've been through a hurtful experience, then you want to take time to heal. You want to take time to say, okay, you know what? This is the issue that's causing it. Please, I asked a question earlier, and I think it was, can you trust without love? Was that what you asked? Wendy Space, thank you. Vienna's Beauty, thank you so much for coming. It's talk with Richie. You're asking if it's, I think I saw the question briefly. Is it possible to trust without love, or is it possible to love without trust? Please type the message again so I can see Richie. I can't see your question, or Richie. Please type it again so that we can all. So this question will be for everyone, not just me. Is it possible to? Is it? Is it to trust without love, or love without trust? Can you love someone without trusting them? Okay, so that's a question from Richie. Can you love someone and don't trust them? Okay, so that's the question Richie is asking. So please, guys, let's answer the question. Wendy Space, happy Sunday to you too. So that's the question Richie is asking. Can you love someone and not trust them? Okay, so that's a question. For me, I think that well, I'll wait for people to answer. You can wait for people to answer, because we know that love is a very complicated thing. It's not something that's straightforward. It's not like, okay, I love you, and that's it. It's very complicated. Love has different dimensions. Okay, so Rich is asking us, can you love someone if you don't trust them? I know that I think one of the characteristics of love is to trust. So I love you, I trust you, but then you can love someone and then they betray your trust, so you lose trust for them. So Colin is saying maybe you can trust without love, but don't know if you can love without trust. Yeah, when they're saying there's a thin line between love and trust. Okay, so like that's why I said it's a very dicey topic when it comes to love. From my opinion, you can love someone, okay, and what happens is the person might betray your trust. Okay, so you love someone, you trust them, and then the person betrays your trust. In a working environment, you can trust someone without loving them. It's just my head is just getting my head is just going round, round, round. So you can trust someone without loving them, like Colin said, but whether you can love them without trusting them is another issue. If you love someone and trust them, they could betray your trust, and then you stop trusting them. So that puts the relationship in a dicey position. But whether you now stop loving them because they betrayed your trust, I'm not entirely sure. I think you can love someone even if you don't trust them. Okay, and that's like painful in your heart. Okay, love without trust is a mirage. That kind of love will not last. So yes, it won't last. To love, you must trust. To love someone, you must trust them. So let's use a mother and a son for as an example. Okay, so a mother has a son. Okay, she loves the son because obviously that son has come from her womb, from her. So she loves the child. But then there are some things that she cannot trust that son with. Okay, because she knows that, oh, this child is not trustworthy. However, I still love this child because this child is mine. So in that way, I can say yes, you can love. Ogongwadi, thank you so much. Hey, I see you. Thank you so much. But like I said, we're just rubbing minds together. In terms of a child, a mother and a child, a mother can say, okay, even though I don't trust this my child with this thing, I still love you because you are my child. But when it comes to relationship, if I don't trust you anymore, then it makes it really difficult for us to be together. Okay, but she said, how can you trust without love? How can you trust someone without loving them? If you are having second thoughts, then maybe it's a sign you should not, it should not be in that situation in the first place. Don't settle. Yeah. So Bluetooth is saying that you can't trust someone without loving them. You can't love someone without trusting them. Like I said, it's a very dicey topic. And if we want to go into that, there are different situations where you can actually love someone but not trust them, like the situation of a mother and a child. Okay, so it's a mother and a child. You love the child, but you can't trust this child because you know that at certain times this child can do certain things. Okay, so that's the situation. But when it comes to a relationship, if I start losing trust for you, then the love I have for you start going down gradually. Okay, so the love I have for you start going down, and it could even lead to hate. If I don't trust you to keep yourself to yourself, to keep yourself for me, then the love I have for you will start to die down gradually, and I might begin to despise you because I know that you would always hurt me. I don't trust you to not hurt me. Okay, so but that's a very tactical question, Rich. There. Thank you all so much for coming. Franca's Kitchen, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so the question, the Richard just asked a question which we just tried to talk about. So yeah, when it says even with our children, when they breach our trust, they bring us grief. Proverbs 10. Yes. So and that's why I said it's painful. It's painful when you love someone so much and then you know that okay, this person can't be trusted. Even for mother and child or for father and child, it breaks your heart. Okay, and yeah, when it says it brings you grief because you know that this person is doing this thing. I can't trust this child not to steal, or I can't trust this child not to smoke or go abuse substance. Okay, so that will break your heart. It will bring you a lot of grief. But then, because you are a woman, some women will be like, okay, you know what? I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. But some women will be like, okay, you know what? You're still my child no matter what. And Colin is saying, unconditional love, I believe, only happens with a parent's child. With everyone else, love is conditional on mutual respect and trust. And I totally agree with that. And that's why I brought the parent and child. Okay, so because you are part of me. There's no way I can do away with you. There's nothing I can do about you because you're my child. But even at that, some people will still say, okay, I don't want to have anything. I think it was Grant Cardone. Was it Grant Cardone? I watched one of his videos where he was talking about how he was into substance abuse and all that. He was into drugs and drinking and all that. And at a point, his mom kicked him out. His mom had to kick him out of the house because if she left him in the house, he would not get better. So he went in, checked into rehab, and then came back out. Sometimes another way that we can love is tough love. Okay, so even though you've broken my trust, even though you betrayed me, I still love you. And the best thing for me to do is to just let you go. Okay, and that was what happened in Grant Cardone's case. Okay, let's have a look. So Colin is saying it's only relationship is built in love and trust. Okay, Blue Jeans is doing weightlifting. Mama Bioyi, thank you so much for coming. Happy Sunday to you too. Thank you so much. It's up for Richie. Okay. Fitness study. Yeah, when you say so for me, love without trust is incomplete. They both complement each other. That's right. And Franca said my sister lead to me. It's so hard for me to trust anything that comes from her voice now because I hate lies. My sister lied to me. Shy, it's so hard. So yeah. So your sister, so because so Franca is saying that because her sister lied to her, she can't trust her anymore, and that's because the trust has been broken because the sister lied. But she's still your sister. She's still your sister. You're not going to throw away that, okay, you're not my sister anymore. You still love her. Okay, Yarendi Bab is saying, for me, love without trust is incomplete because we know that trust is one of, like I said before, is one of the pillars of relationship. If that is just like a table that's standing on, let's say, four legs. We have trust, we have love, we have tolerance, we have this. Let's just name four, and we have respect, let's use respect. If you take one of those legs out because it's one of the pillars, then that relationship will not stand firm. It will start shaking. And if care is not taken, if you put something on the part that the leg is not there, then that relationship would crack. So we really, really need trust. So trust is very, very important for relationships. So love and trust, they go together. So even if I love my husband and I don't trust him, it will be difficult for me to stay with him because I don't trust him. Every time he goes out, I'm checking his phone. Anytime he comes in, I'm checking his phone. When I remember in my past relationship, and this poor guy would be taking a call. I didn't trust him, and the relationship didn't last. When he gets a call, sometimes he goes to the bathroom to pick his call. And guess what I'll do? I'll tiptoe. Causing myself so much grief. I would tiptoe and tiptoe and tiptoe to the bathroom door and then put my ears. I won't even hear anything. you know. But that's it. The relationship still didn't last. My heart was broken. I was not at peace with myself. I was not at peace in the relationship. So that was even though I loved him, I didn't trust him, and eventually the relationship broke up. Then you're laughing. It's true. Now that I think about it, I'm laughing. But then it wasn't funny. If his phone rings in the bedroom, I will go and stand by the door to try and look. Let's listen to what he's saying. And sometimes he would hear me and start just saying rubbish, just to try to spice me. And he'd be like, okay, I knew you were listening in. CIA agent, detective, everything. Lying is more than corona. It's not good to lie, definitely. So Blue Jeans is saying siblings and parents can be funny, but we don't have a choice. We love them regardless, but for others, no compromise. Exactly. So siblings, family, because they're part of you. Okay, you have the same blood in your veins. You came from the same home. You know that you didn't choose them. They are with you for life. But in terms of friendship, in terms of relationship, we have a choice. When it comes to family, we can't choose, but in terms of relationship, we can choose. So if someone detective, CIA agent, detective, all in all, but I was just causing myself grief, to be honest. And a lot of people do it. A lot of people. So instead of you to go into a relationship that you don't trust this, and I didn't trust him from the beginning. From the beginning, I didn't trust him, but I still went ahead, with the relationship. So why not just save yourself the stress? Nagas in Dubai, thank you for coming. Why don't you just save your stress of that detective work that no one will pay you, or the CIA work that no one will pay you, instead of getting yourself involved? You can choose your friends and partners, but you can't choose your family. Exactly. You can choose your family. Okay, so we have a choice. If you find out that, and like I was saying before, find out why you don't trust this person. If this person is indeed not trustworthy, if this person has indeed done something to warrant you not trusting them, then it's better for you to hold up your relationship until you get to a point where you now trust the person, or you just go and look for someone else. you know. Thank you guys so much. Just a funny story from years back. But no, I don't advise anyone. If you know you don't trust the person, then don't go ahead. And when it comes to people that are already in relationship, people that are already married, what happens when you now start flourishing and reaction? Thank you for coming. When you now start seeing that, okay, I don't trust, maybe you can move into big bro. If they give me a place there, I'll go. So when you're now in a relationship, say for instance, you didn't know the person so well. Say for instance, you had a relationship from a long distance and you didn't know the person so well. Yes, it doesn't change who they are to us, either by blood or otherwise, but we are just going to fact check what they tell us. It doesn't mean we don't love them. It just means we can't trust them. Exactly. Exactly. And when it comes to family, we can't choose. They are with us for life. And I know that there's sometimes that some people do, some members of family have had to go separate ways. Like, you know what, I'm having nothing to do with you anymore. You know, because this person is. I remember, I don't know if it's appropriate to say this here, but one of my friends, if you're watching, I'm very sorry I'm having to say this. One of my friends from secondary school, you know, we went to the same secondary school, we're very close and all that. And she had this brother, and the brother was into drugs. He was smoking, we call it marijuana, yes, Igbo. He was into marijuana, he was into, then he was young, it was like one of the happening guys then. He didn't go to my school, but he would come maybe during our break time. They would have parties and all that. We'll all go, you know. But he was into marijuana. But as time went on, it gets to a stage in everyone's life where maybe at the time you were naughty. Maybe you were going to parties, you were drinking and all that. It gets to a point where you decide, you know what, you know what, I don't want this anymore. I want to be serious with my life. But in this boy's case, he didn't get to that stage. Even when he got to 30, he got to 35, he didn't. He was into marijuana, he was stealing. So if he goes to my friend's house, he would steal something. Anywhere he goes to visit, he will steal. He will steal, and then people will call the sister to come and beg and bail, is it bail or bail him out? You know, so it went on and on and on and on and on. So my friend got married, the sister got married. This guy, he wasn't working. So this is years now. He wasn't working, he was stealing, it was causing so much problems. And what they did was like, you know what, I'm having nothing to do with you anymore. So they all cut off from him. So even when he's calling them on the phone, they don't pick up, because they know that if he's calling me, there's a problem. You know, so sometimes there are some members of our families like that, and we just, okay, you know what, I'm not having anything to do with you anymore. Okay, Yomi Kitchen, thank you for coming. But me personally, because of the person kind of person I am, I won't cut off from you. It's my weakness. You know, it's my weakness. I won't cut off from you. But they did. And eventually they woke up one day and the boy was nowhere to be found. They looked for him everywhere. They couldn't find him. Till date, they still can't find the boy. Okay, and the story that came out is that somehow he got into the hands of bad people and he got killed. So for me personally, I would feel guilty if I'd done that to that person, because he's my blood. You know, but everyone have their strength or their elasticity, how much they can bear from one person. Okay, so Colin say family relationship can be very complicated sometimes. So that's just by the wayside. That just came up in my head. So I thought I would share that, because we're talking about family relationship. Yeah, when it says yes, it doesn't change who they are to us by blood, either by blood or otherwise, but we are just not going to we're just not going to trust them. Okay, so yeah, so Elias is saying sad. It's sad. It is sad. It's sad, but this is a typical situation whereby you've done everything you can. They've tried to enroll him in classes. They've tried to get him a job. He will keep the job. Rather, he will go to the job, he will steal, and then come back. And then my friend will have to go and pay money to bail him out. They've arrested him several times. He's come out, they've gone to bail him and he's come out. He still didn't change, you know? And eventually that happens. It's sad. And when I spoke with my friend, she was crying like she should have and picked his call. I'm like, don't blame yourself, you know? And but yeah, that's just really family relationships for you. Because they say at times you have to take a step back to allow the person grow, and that might mean dissociating from them completely. You can love some family members from a distance, which is so true. And in this case, I think that's what they did. They stepped back, and even though he was so troublesome, they still loved him. But like, okay, you know what, just stay away so that you can grow, so that you can find your feet. But he still didn't, unfortunately. You can't help someone if they're not helping themselves too. Okay, Nurse Ruth, thank you so much for coming. Time sure can heal things. Yes. So guys, Thank you all so much for coming. I really do appreciate you. I've got 18 amazing people in the house. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. I've got one person on Amilcar. It is pronounced as it is pronounced as marijuana. The J is silent. Kudos. I still can't pronounce it. Sorry, Amila. Thank you for correcting me. Someone just corrected me on the Facebook. That is marijuana. Marijuana. The J is silent. But marijuana. Okay. Thank you very much for that. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. But yeah, so that was what happened to the guy. It was sad, but yeah, and Colin said we can't help someone if they don't want to help themselves. You can only do what you can. And if they're causing you trouble, then you just love them from a distance, like Hobbes then said. Okay. A dog that will be lost would not listen to the whistle of the hunter. I cannot be with anyone I don't trust. Okay, so that's Flourish and reaction. She's saying that she can't be with someone she doesn't trust. If you're with someone, if you decide to marry someone you don't trust, Cousin said it's like an accident waiting to happen. Like you're seeing the car coming, you're crossing. It's an accident waiting to happen, and it will happen. Okay, and I use mine as an example. You know how I became a detective. I became a detective, a CIA agent, because I didn't trust this guy, and eventually he didn't change, and the relationship ended. Okay, so if you go into a relationship with someone that you know that this person, I don't trust this person because this person is cheating on me, then it's not going to change when you get in. And like, yeah, when it says no, Blue Jean said a leopard will not change its color just because you decided to settle with him. He won't. Okay, so it's really important that we look properly, ask yourself if you are the one that has the issues, if you're the one that has trust issues, then fair enough, deal with yourself, go for counseling, ask yourself why, find out the root cause, and then deal with it, go through the process of healing so that that um, trust issues will not keep coming. Okay, you're already saying, so singles, so all the singles out there, don't no love without trust. Okay, so they go together. They are all both pillars when it comes to relationships. So they go together. So don't say you love someone and you want to go ahead because you love them when you know that this person is not trustworthy. Okay, so it's really important that we trust the person because the person is not going to change 5 months down the line to become a saint. No, it's not going to happen. And if you've got into a relationship with someone that you don't trust, what do you do? Okay, so for instance, let's say, okay, this person, you didn't know that this person was not trustworthy, or maybe the person was trustworthy when you got married, and then suddenly they start to act in a way that you don't trust. You don't know what they are doing, but you just find out, okay, something is going on. Then what you want to do is, because me, I believe in conversation, I believe in talking, because talking a lot has helped me, okay, in my relationship. It has helped me a lot. So what you want to do is talk, like, okay, this is how I'm feeling, what's going on. Okay, and we know that if I keep telling you I trust you, you won't most normal people won't want to break my trust because they know that you trust them. So when you keep echoing it to them, like, okay, I trust you, I love you, and I trust you, I know you won't do this to me. If that same person now goes behind you to do something, they know that, okay, I'm breaking this person's trust, unless the person is not normal, or maybe the person is not human, or maybe the person doesn't love you enough. So if I keep telling you I trust you, I trust you, I trust you, we won't go back and break my trust, because you know that you're going to be hurting someone you claim to love. Okay, so Agatha Progress, thank you so much, Mama Agatha, for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you so, so much for coming. Okay, thank you so much. So we're just talking about trust. Should you marry someone you don't trust? And the general consensus is no, no, no. Don't marry someone if you don't trust them, because it's an accident that's waiting to happen, and it will happen. However, you want to ask yourself, like, why don't I trust this person? Has this person done anything to warrant me not trusting them? Or is it just me that has an issue. Sometimes people hear things. Say, for instance, maybe my friend said something. My friend came to tell me, guess what? I saw your partner somewhere doing something. And for that reason, I decided that I'm not going to trust him. So that's not a valid enough reason for you to say you don't trust that person. What you need to do is to do your CIA work, your investigation, to find out, okay, what my friend has told me or what this person has told me, is it true? There's a saying that there's always a flame behind every fire. So if someone has come to tell you that, okay, I saw this, or I heard this, there might be a flame behind it, and sometimes it might not be true. So what you want to do is find out, you find out what it is that this person is talking about. See if there's an element of truth to what that person is saying. So healthy living is saying, I really think love and trust are two different things, and both are really inevitable in a successful relationship. And that's so true. And that's why I use the analogy of a table that has four legs, which are the pillars. So a table has four pillars. So one is love, one is trust, one is respect, one is tolerance. Let's use tolerance. So those four pillars are really important. They need each other for the table to stand perfectly. If you take out one of the legs, say you take out trust or you take out love, that table would not stand properly. And at some point, that table would fall. Any little pressure that comes on that marriage or that relationship, that table would fall. The relationship would fall. Say, for instance, the trust is broken. If anything comes that makes me suspicious, because the trust is not there anymore, the table would collapse. The marriage or the relationship will collapse. So they both are important, not just trust and love. There are many, many things that are important. So many pillars. So communication is one of the pillars of relationships. So communication, trust, we have love, we have tolerance, we have so many things. I can't think of them as I'm sitting here, but there are so many things that are needed in relationships. Someone said communication is like the oxygen that you need for your lungs. Okay, it's like when you have electricity in the house, you need a switch to power it on. That's what communication is in every relationship. And I strongly believe, for me, communication is so important. So trust, love, communication, they're all really important when it comes to relationship. Okay, and I know of a man who doesn't want his wife to have anything to do with her ex. Don't talk to him at all. Delete his number, blah, blah, blah. But he still greets his ex occasionally himself, but not for his wife. Thank you so much, Yawendi Babs. Thank you so much. So this man, Healthy Living with Deborah is saying that there's a man that doesn't want his wife to speak or have any contact with her ex, but he has contact with his ex. So to me, that's double standard. That's double standard. So if you don't want me to have any communication with my ex, then, which I think is the right thing. Yeah. So even though you're there, we shouldn't be communicating. We shouldn't be contacting each other because our business is over. But that doesn't mean that we're enemies. We're not enemies, but let's not be talking as if we're not. You also should not be communicating with your ex, because how do you think that would make me feel? Yeah. So how would it make me feel? So if you are saying don't communicate with your ex, then you should be living by that example. That's partiality. What is good for the geese is good for the gender. That's one of my dad's favorite quotes. Bless him. What is good for the geese is good for the gender. The gander, sorry. Yeah, so it's double standard. If you're saying don't do this, then you shouldn't be doing it either. Okay, because it's not right. He's lucky he's not married. It's not right. Honestly, it's not right. I don't ordinary to greet the man is a problem. That's sad. That's sad. I mean, when you have relationship with people, they become a part of your life. You can't take them away from your life anymore. They become a part of your past. Okay, and your past is part of what makes you who you are today. Okay, so you can't just say, okay, I'm throwing this person away because this person, I'm not with this person anymore. So they are there, let them be there. So if we see on the road, if we see somewhere, hello, hi, how are you? And that's it. We're not enemies, but we're not friends. So that's how it should be. And the same should be for you as well as a man. You cannot be friends with your ex. What are you being friends for? Are you trying to reconcile? It's like I'm talking to my husband. Are you trying to reconcile? Are you trying to come back together? What are you being friends for? Okay, Colin is saying the ring that's ring's alarm does. If he doesn't want her to be friends with her ex, but he's with his makes me think the he's the one that can't be trusted. And I totally agree with that. It's possible that he doesn't want her to be in contact with his ex, with her ex, because he knows what he's doing with his ex. He's probably doing something with his ex and he doesn't want her to do the same. And that's why he's saying, oh, don't have any contact with your ex. So he definitely shouldn't be trusted. For me to do what he wants, he must lead by example. Exactly. And that's why I said, if you don't want me to do this, then you also don't do it. Okay? Lead by example, and then I'll follow your lead. I'm not in support of being in contact or having a communication and all that with your ex. But at the same time, I'm of the opinion that they're not my enemies, or he's not my enemy. Actually, I would like him to see how far I've come. Pepper them, gang. I would like him to see how far I've come. So let's not be enemies. Let's just be there. You be there, be here, and I'll be here. So that's just me. But we shouldn't be in constant contact. To me, that's not right. But yeah, so that's just another story by the wayside. But yeah, we're talking about trust in relationship, trust in marriages, trust. And again, if you see that your partner or your husband is doing something that you think like, okay, what's going on here? Then you want to sit him down and talk. Yeah, guys in the back, thank you so much for staying with me. I appreciate you so much. You want to ask him, like, or ask her what's going on, okay? And be like, okay, I trust you and I believe that you won't betray my trust, and that will get them thinking, in my opinion. Okay. But when it comes to getting married, when it comes to dating someone, if you don't trust the person, then by all means don't, because if you do go ahead to marry that person, then you would always be looking behind your shoulders. You would always not trust the person. For me, no convo with exes, but it's a matter of choice, not because my husband forbade me. Yeah, me too. No conversation at all. You be there and I'm here. We're not enemies, but let's not have any conversation. You know? Um, yeah. I can't remember what I said now. Yeah, when you found. But yeah. So if you if you find out that this person is not trustworthy, then don't go ahead to be with that person. If it's something that has to do with you, then you want to ask yourself questions and go through the process of healing, and then so that you can move on with your life and with your relationship. Because if you don't, then the issue will still keep coming back. If you leave that person and go to someone else, then that issue will keep coming back. Okay, but if it is the person that you don't trust, then if you go ahead with to marry that person, you keep looking behind your back, you keep distrusting the person, and then being investigator, being CIA, and at the end of the day, you now start having hypertension because you're always behind the person, one foot behind the person, and that's not good for you as a person. Okay, I've heard of people that have gone and reading messages and checking emails and phones, and at the end of the day, things like, I'm not saying don't, but I mean, I'm not saying don't check, but don't be a detective. Okay, I don't know how to say. If you don't trust the person, don't marry the person, and if you do go ahead and marry the person, then you are on your own, because like cousin said, it's an accident that's waiting to happen. But thank you all so much for coming today. I really appreciate it. I think this live stream is going to be really short. Last week we had Mama Mary on, and it was a bit longer. But thank you all so much for coming today, for staying with me. So next week we're having a very, very hot topic. We're having a very hot topic, and we're having a guest as well next week. So it's going to be very hot and very interesting. So please, please, please do come around next week and come with your questions. Come with an open mind, and also be able to come ready to ask questions. Anything you don't understand, please come ready to ask and also answer some questions for us as well. Victoria Omaka, thank you so much for coming. I'm just waking up from sleep, but thanks. Enjoyment. I wish I could sleep like that. I tried sleeping this afternoon, but no chance. But thank you so much. So I think we're going to be wrapping up here. Okay, but thank you all so much for coming. I appreciate every single one of you. So bottom line, what we're saying today is, if you don't trust the person, find out if you are the cause. If it's you that has the trust issues. If you have trust issues, then you want to work on yourself. You want to seek counseling if you have to. You want to work on yourself. Find out why you have those issues and try to resolve it. Okay, because if you don't resolve it, it will keep playing up in your next relationship. And Cobbs then said, if you go ahead and marry someone you don't trust, it's an accident waiting to happen, and that accident will definitely happen. I use myself as an example. When I was tiptoeing, even though I knew that this person wasn't trusted initially, I still said, okay, I want to go ahead to have a relationship with him. And at the end of the day, the relationship broke because I didn't trust him, but that's by the wayside. But if you find out that this person is not trustworthy, then by all means, don't go ahead with that marriage. Okay, so take your time to say, okay, you know what, let me find out if I can trust you. And if you're not able to trust that person, then don't do it. Okay, but thank you all so much for coming. I really, really appreciate you for coming. Delta Peking, thank you. Yeah, Wendy Babs, Helden Living with Deborah, Victoria America, Elias Matters, and Cobbs Den, Christina Flourishing, thank you so much. When there is trust in a relationship, you can be friends with your ex without not thinking of anything, and your partner is okay with it. Again, that depends on the relationship you have with your partner. Okay, and I said before, my husband personally, I like to talk about my past experiences. I like to talk about, oh, this is how this person did this is how that person did that, and I like him to do the same because I want to know how it was in his past relationship. But he on the other hand, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like me talking about it, and he doesn't like to go into details about his own relationship. So I respect that. So it depends on the couple. It depends on the kind of relationship you have with your partner. So yes, talk, but not a situation whereby he will be calling you every day or texting you every day. For me, that's not acceptable. Okay, and I don't think it'd be acceptable for my husband either. But thank you so much for your contribution. Victoria America, thank you so much. And Blue Jeans Network, thank you so much for all the amazing super chatters. Ogowande Blue Jeans, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Nasru, thank you so much. Yawende Babs, I appreciate every single one of you for coming. Esther Chronicles, Mommy B TV, thank you all so, so much. I really appreciate you so, so much, everyone. But this is where we call it a wrap. Okay, it's 53, so 53 minutes past. But thank you, Biold Rose, thank you for coming. Cherish Olivia, thank you so much. We're rounding up now, but I appreciate every one of you for turning up anyway. Thank you so much. Okay, but have a beautiful week. Have a blessed week, everyone. And like I said, next week we're having a guest. It's 5 o'clock next week. We're having a guest. It's going to be on fire. We're going to be on fire next week, so please make yourself available. I would really appreciate you for that. But thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Have an amazing week, and always make sure you are doing the best you can to be your best version of yourself always. Thank you so much, and bye.